Day 5 French road trip. We are leaving this place, Cap Martin. I fully recommend staying there if you're visiting Monaco. It's outside Monaco, 15-minute drive, beautiful beach, beautiful location, loads of restaurants, much cheaper than Monaco. Definitely worth staying here. I would stay here again, 100%. We've actually done 2 days here. This has been our middle rest day. Now we've got decided to do a diversion day to Verdon Gorge. It is a 3-hour diversion. We've got 7.5 hours worth of driving to do today. So we're leaving early. It's 7:35. We're gonna get some petrol and then we're gonna go. So long day of driving ahead. Oh, did you want to? Is your screen need cleaning? Are you right? Someone's nicked Steve's BMW badge. That's not good. I think you can get them online, but how bad's that? My key is in the car and it's locked it. Luckily the roof's down, otherwise we would have been locked out then. Right, so we are off. We're just going to stop at the gas station. As I said, we've just pulled away there and someone's nicked Steve's BMW badge, which, I mean, you can replace them, but it's a bit naff when things like that happen, isn't it? But I'll still say this is a great place to come. We've got, as I said, we've got a lot of driving ahead of us today. We'll try to do some filming. One of the things we're finding on this trip is we're not really expert YouTubers. We're trying to enjoy the trip and we're missing out quite a lot of stuff talking and videoing, so honestly I've got no idea how this video is going to turn out. Apologies if it's rubbish. One thing I always do on a BMW is switch off this auto stop. It drives me insane. I don't know why you can't just switch it off in the menu. You've got to do some sort of like special coding thing to switch it off, but I don't think it's good for it. I did read some stuff online to say it messes with the starter motor over time. I have no idea how true that is, but I just find it a little bit annoying. Unless you're going to be stopping for a long time at a train gates or something. When you're just going through town like this, keep stopping, starting. Can't imagine it's good for the engine. Okay. So we've just counted up the number of miles we've done so far on this trip. And it is 977 miles. So that's our total mileage count so far, and we are at the most southern point we're going to be on this trip. And now it's a case of just going across France and then back up north again. I'm just trying to get out of this petrol station and leave enough gap for Steve to follow me, because we don't want to lose him again today like we did yesterday. Yo, you there? Hello? Are you there? Where are you? Hello? This is what happens when they leave their walkie-talkie on. They never charge it. They leave it on, and they wonder why it doesn't work. As I've said in previous videos, me and Finn are mostly organised.
These walkie-talkies were a good idea.
Yeah, brilliant if you actually answer. Anyway, total mileage count so far is 977 miles.
Yeah, that's not bad. I thought it'd be more than that. Actually, ours is more than that. Ours is about 1,200. Well, I took the wrong turn in.
Right, so I decided to overtake one car, and then somehow we've lost Will and Steve again, and we've ended up, we were only apart from each other for a couple of minutes. Somehow we've ended up miles apart and completely lost each other. So we're now sitting waiting at this roundabout, hoping that they're going to come down here somewhere, but I've got no idea. Lesson learnt, don't try and overtake a car unless you can both overtake it. But we've just been through the most amazing drive all the way up these kind of windy roads. We did some video of it. It was just such a nice drive, and we're just out here in this kind of like wooded area. No idea where we are, but we've still got an hour to go till we get to our first stop. And this overtake has just cost us about 25 minutes, so lesson learned. Right, we've arrived at Verdon Gorge, and the drive up here was something else. I definitely recommend that drive if you're coming on one of these trips. We're going to go and check out what this is all about. We managed to get a parking space right to the top, and we're just going to go for a little bit of a walk around to see what is going on. It's like making me nervous just hanging over. Look at that. It just makes me feel a bit like insignificant. Oh, you can actually walk down some steps over there. Look at that.
I've got to say, I think that's more impressive than the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Look at that. It is, I don't know if the camera's really doing it justice, but it's so hot. Yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done, but bloody hell. It's like we're in front of Titanic.
No, yeah.
Save me, Jack! Oh, mate. There's not a lot of water down there, though, is there? Jesus. Yeah.
What of you?
Is this a good idea? Should go and get the camcorder, Will. Yep.
Here, let me zoom in.
Right, so we've left that Verdon Gorge place. And that probably was worth the drive. The drive up there was amazing, and the views are out of this world. I don't think the camera will do it justice. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Grand Canyon. It's really, really impressive. But now we've got, well, 4.5 hours now ahead of us. We're driving down through Montpellier, and I think we have to drive through the centre of Montpellier. There doesn't seem to be as many big motorways here as what there was earlier on in the trip. And then onto the, we're going to be staying near the Millau Viaduct. I think we're actually staying in a hotel that pretty much overlooks the viaduct. I don't think there's a lot there from when looking at the picture. Morning. Right, I think we're on day 6 now, and we're just leaving our hotel in Millau. And we actually drove over the Millau bridge when we came in yesterday. We weren't really expecting it, and it was absolutely hammering it down. And so it was just mist on one side and then rain on the other. So that was a bit of an anti-climax in the end. We stayed in that Abyss, decent hotel, nice and clean. basic but does the job at a reasonable price. We are, and it had a swimming pool as well, which is quite strange. But the weather seems to have changed a bit, and we don't have the sun that we had on the previous days. But we are just going to go down into the actual Millau village and hope to get a slightly better view of the bridge from here. Yeah, you do by the looks of it. It's incredibly cloudy today though, so the clouds are just above the bridge. But we're going to go down into the town and pick up some breakfast, and then we're going to drive to Bordeaux, which is our next destination. But we've decided that we're going to take, instead of just going on motorways, we're going to take more of a kind of country, across towns country sort of thing, because motorways are dull. They are quick but dull, so we're going to take a slightly longer route and make our way over to Bordeaux. Both cars are holding up well so far. I don't want to curse us, but both cars are holding up well. Every day I have to have a clear out of all the junk that we just seem to accumulate in here every day. I think I said before in a previous video, we did buy a fridge from Amazon. It was 30 quid, and it's been an absolute lifesaver because we just kind of put it the other side of the hatch that we've got on this car. It's in the boot, and we've connected it via old cigarette lighter. There, the cable goes through into the boot, and we can just put our arm through there and get an ice cold drink when we're on the road. It's been an absolute lifesaver for us. Right, can't find my wind muffler. We've just pulled up in this little village. There it is. We've just pulled up in this little French village, and we could not have pulled up into a more French village if we tried. It's a Thursday, right? It's 11 o'clock. Look how many people's just here. I'm sure French people just don't work, but it could not be more French. They're French bowls. There's loads of them. There's a little old kind of restaurant cafe thing which we're going to try and go to over there. There's an M235i we've just seen, and there's the Z4s in the background. But Will is checking out the French bowls. Let's go and have a look. Look, they've got all the trophies. This must be it. This must be the big championship, the big event of the year. Thursday the 15th of August. It's probably dead at the other times when you come down here. Oh, there he is. Mr. Steve, I'm not on a coffee diet offer. What do you have to say about your coffee?
It was very nice actually. I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them for free. Only paid for one.
I just keep losing stuff. There you go. Right, we are leaving the most French town known to man. And they're probably thinking, we're all these odd English people just turning up in our village for our annual Bowls Festival. Yeah, we came all the way over here for it, mate. Let's go. Ooh, nearly crashed. Nearly crashed.
Again.
They want to go, well, we want to go on some sort of like country roads and things rather than just sitting on motorways all day, but it is a lot slower. But you get to see things like this. You get to turn up in little villages. Steve went into that cafe. They ordered one hot chocolate and one coffee, but somehow Steve ended up with 3 coffees and 1 hot chocolate, and he's just drunk 3 coffees and he's completely wired now. So he's now got to sit in that car wide awake, and he's probably going to need a wee every 5 minutes. But anyway, we're going to go to a next little village which looks pretty nice in the pictures, and we'll go check that out. I'll tell you another thing about the French. A couple of things about their driving. They love their hazard lights, and they do love an arm out the window. So they kind of do this, and they just kind of flop their arm out the window like this, and then they just start waving it around and then just flop it back. And sometimes it's just the driver, sometimes it's the driver and the passenger, but they just seem to have this like floppy arm thing going on all the time. Don't know if that's just a French thing, but I don't see it in England. Yeah, I've probably just given him the flappy arm signal and whatever that means. Oh, and another thing that we keep seeing here, I don't think I've got any shots of it, is that some of the towns, their signs for the name of the town is upside down. And we were trying to work out what that was all about, and we just Googled it, and basically it is the farmers, it's their way of protesting of the challenges that they face. So they just go around and unscrew the town signs and turn them upside down. I don't know exactly what these challenges are that they're facing, but all the town signs are upside down, so strange. And now we are faced with a load of cyclists, and you see this a lot on these routes, just cyclists, and they're really hard to pass because there's like probably about 10 in this little group. It just becomes a nightmare. Another thing I've sort of noticed about France is there's hardly any people about. I don't know where they all are. We going through all these country roads for miles and miles. It takes you ages just to see one car. And we were kind of talking about it, and we were wondering if it's because they've got so many motorways, toll roads, and everyone just uses them, and it just frees up all the country roads. There's hardly anyone on it. But even when you go into sort of little villages that we've been going through, I mean, that one had people in it, that one we were just in, but loads of the little sort of villages before that, you just drive through, it's like a ghost town. There's just no one there. Oh. Sorry. I can't help it. As you walk away, it locks it. I didn't lock it. I suggest you take that back. Right, we're going to look at a bridge. Right, if this bridge is rubbish, it's Will's fault. It's going to be one of those things where you walk up to it and you go, oh, that's a bridge.
Oh yeah, look, be soundtracks as well.
There you go.
But that is just
We shall name it Will's Bridge. Yeah. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Press the button to put the roof down. The windows go down, but the roof don't go down.
That's what happens every time I try and do it.
And I press it again and it goes down. Good thing is, Steve can't do this with his car. I've just offered him to have a 0 to 60 race. He doesn't want to do that either because he thinks he's got too much weight in his car. And he thinks that his car doesn't accelerate as well or something. But all he's told me about is how good his 3 litre is and how faster it is and all this. Well, I was just moaning about the fact that you don't want to race me. That you don't want to race me because your car's too overweight and your acceleration's not going to work, and it's just a big pile of excuses.
If we race you and we beat you, you're just going to have the grumpiest look on your face for the rest of the trip.
Right.
And then you're going to say, oh, I'm going to get an in.
I don't think you will beat me. That's the thing. I don't think you will.
What are all these excuses about then?
I'm up for the challenge. So many of those E89s, the roof breaks. And it would be hilarious, wouldn't it? they were just stuck with their roof down the whole way and it starts raining. Will went in to get a croissant this morning, and he went up to the woman and says, bonjour, ça va? And then he goes, deux croissants, pour favor, which is basically 2 croissants and then please in Spanish. And they just look at you like you're an idiot, and then they just speak to you in English. It's the same in McDonald's. I really struggled speaking French to this guy, trying to order hot chocolate and a Fanta Zero. And he just went, he made me struggle through the whole thing. He goes, okay, thank you, if you could just come up to the next window, please. And I think they're just winding me up. I'm not sure, it feels like it's going to rain. Good thing is, we can still put our roof up while we're moving. They can't. Steve and Will getting into the French way of life, the old arm out the window. They've acclimatised to it. I think we should do it. I'll do, yeah, arm out the window. I'll do it full on French though. I'll do it full on French arm out the window. This is what they do. Right, decided to come to Bordeaux. Apparently, this street that we're about to walk down is the longest street in France. There's actually quite buzzing here. And we've come outside the HMS Victory, where we're going to leave Steve, so he can get a drink, and then we're just going to go for a little bit of a walk around Bordeaux. And it is pretty big. I don't know if you can really see. It starts down there. There it goes. It does go on for a long time, so we're actually going to walk all the way down it. Right, good morning. I think we last left you in Bordeaux. We went into Bordeaux town centre, and we just got up and we've come to a little village to get some something for breakfast. If you're coming this way and you're going to Bordeaux, or you're doing one of these road trips, I fully recommend you go to Bordeaux. It's a great city. We went in there last night. It's absolutely buzzing. There's just bars everywhere. Everyone kind of sits around in this square, and there's like loads of bars playing music, and it's just like there's a real kind of like buzz to it. And our friend who's on the trip with us, Will, we discovered last night that he's an absolute karaoke maniac, and as soon as he realised there was karaoke going on, he just turned into a complete lunatic. And I'll play some of the B-roll here because I can't actually play the music, but he played Oasis Rock and Roll Star, and everyone in this bar was just like cheering him and getting right into it, and it was just a lot of fun. So we're all feeling a little bit sort of tender this morning. We just, especially Will and Steve, because they drank quite a bit. I didn't drink, so, but it was just a bit of a late night. So now we're just kind of getting up, and we're on another drive. We're going to do the same as yesterday, where we don't go on the motorway, and we're going to go through the country roads, and we're going to go through part of Loire Valley, and go through some of the national parks. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good shots on that. And then we're going to a place called Angers, which looks like another kind of quite interesting city. And we're kind of coming towards the end of our trip now. Right, we come through these villages. There's another one where everything's closed, and there's just like, you wander through, you just don't see anyone. Really strange. They're really nice villages. We actually spoke to someone yesterday, and what they said is, basically in August, everyone takes holiday. Pretty much everyone takes holiday. They close everything up and they go to the sea. So when you go through these villages and they're just ghost towns, it's because everyone's gone on holiday. And we just went into a spa, there's just no one there. And like all the shutters are closed on the houses and the shops are shut, and completely different to England. This looks like a nice village though. It's quite nice just going through all these empty villages. You don't get any traffic. Stopped at this really cool place. You can go canoeing down here. And there's kids actually on rubber rings. Looks like you can go canoeing all the way down there. Will, the karaoke man, is also going to go swimming. We've got to film him jumping in. This will wake you up, Will. Right, I'll do 3, 2, 1, you go. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that was actually a really nice little place, and that's one of the benefits of coming through these little towns and coming off the motorways instead, because you just get to see the real France, I suppose. Morning, squeaky wiper, and as you can see, which is really annoying actually, as you can see today it is raining, and that's why we have made the decision to, well, we went into Angers last night, we had a nice meal, came back to the hotel. To be honest, everyone was knackered and we just kind of like had an early night. And what we also did is we checked out the weather when we got back, and we realised today it's going to rain all day. So it's just a bit naff. So what we decided to do is, we're going to go home a day early. So instead of going to Rouen, we're just going to go to Calais today and then get the train back. We managed to go on to Le Shuttle last night and change our ticket, and then we were able to cancel our hotel and get a full refund, so we've done that. So today what we're going to do is we're going to drive to Le Mans, and we're going to go and visit the Le Mans Museum, which is an hour from here, spend a couple of hours there, and then we're going to drive 4 hours to Calais and then get the boat home, and then it's another 2.5 hours home from Calais once we get there. So a lot of driving today, but I think it's the right decision because it's basically just going to rain, and all we were going to do was just drive to the next place, stay overnight, get up the next morning, go to Calais. So it's really, we might as well just go home. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go and check out Le Mans. go. So that is Le Mans Museum done, and it's right actually. We'll put some of it in the video, but not all of it, because if you want to come here, have a look around it yourself. But now we got a nice, oh yeah, and the museum shop is crazy expensive, but that's just normal for museums, to be honest. And now we are gonna do a 4-hour drive back to the train. You witnessed me doing some prime maintenance tasks on my BMW because I'm like a mechanic. This thing, I filled it up before we came.
With water.
And it's, wow. It said it was it's not spraying properly, but that's full up. How can it be full when I've used it loads? I think we may have a problem because it's not really spraying that well. But when I put that in there, it's completely full. And I have used it a lot. So,
Mechanic.
anyway, another successful job by me. We'll just close that and pretend that I've never been here. We've made it through passport control, and the queue was massive. My advice is it says you can leave the car park an hour before, but which will probably be all right, to be fair. But the queue for the passport was huge compared to what it was in the UK, and you have to go through 2 passports controls. First you go through the French, you drive on a little bit, then you go through the British. So it's 2 queues, but the British queue seemed to be a lot quicker than the French queue. Fascinating this, driving onto a train. You have to get into this little track. Try not to mess your wheels up. Still confused about, oh, there you go. Ah, that's a nice one. Didn't scratch the wheel though, that was just a tyre. And then you just keep sort of driving through here. What I do is I wait and make sure I can get a space in the next carriage before I move. Otherwise I'll get stuck. And what they say when you get on it is you should have your windows half open, and that you shouldn't really get out on a train. But to be honest, everyone gets out and stands around. And there's their toilet. There's these little toilets, so you can go to the toilet on here as well. Right, so back in England, we're back on the right side of the road, and to do a quick summary of the trip really. First of all, trying to do this on YouTube, it's really quite hard actually. This is the first kind of trip we've done where we've tried to do videos each day and sort of do like add comments. Normally we go away, I might do a review of a hotel or a walk along somewhere or something like that. Whereas this one we've tried to do every day. It's actually really hard, it's actually quite annoying. And a lot of the time when you're in a car, we've kind of seen things while we're driving along, and then by the time you get the camera out or the phone out, connect the mic and all that, you're way past it, so you kind of miss it. So there's a lot of things that we've just missed on this trip. I just realised that I'm just not very good at this YouTube stuff, so I've really got no idea how this video is going to come out, and if you're still watching it now, well done to you. But summary of the trip. First thing I'll just say, we come back into England and the roads are shocking. We just spent a week in France and the roads are so nice. Really nice tarmac, smooth. We didn't see a single pothole in that entire trip. And I'm sure there are potholes around France somewhere, but we went through a lot of France and we didn't just stick to motorways, we went through little villages, towns on different roads, and I did not see a single pothole. So why can't we just sort this out in England? Our roads are terrible. Pay a ridiculous amount of tax. We pay real high taxes and everything. And the country is just a mess. So just get that little rant out of the way. But onto the trip, I would say it's actually a brilliant experience. And if it's something you're looking to do, please add some comments, ask me any questions, because we've probably got a lot of knowledge now of doing it. We started out our trip, as you remember, in Calais. We went down to a place called Epinay. I would say out of all the places we visited, that was the most boring. I would say if you're doing this trip, don't stop in Epinay. it's a bit dull, to be honest. Not much going on. If you go in there and you need to stop somewhere around there, stop in Reims. It's more of a built-up, bigger city, and it'll have a bit more going on. But from Epernay, we then drove down to Geneva, and Geneva's lovely. I'd probably go back there if it wasn't so expensive. That's the only thing that would kind of put me off it, but really nice city. And we stayed in kind of strange, quirky hotel, which I did a separate review on. And the room wasn't great, but the location was kind of cool because it was about 10-15 minutes drive outside Geneva, and also it was right next to this kind of water park thing which we went to, and that was a good laugh. And that was quite a good location. Hotel was a little bit on the shabby side. From there we went through the Mont Blanc tunnel. That was a bit of a disappointment. It's not worth the 50 odd euros. Better off going one of the other free routes. It's just a long tunnel. It wasn't particularly noisy from the cars either. I don't know what they've done, but you couldn't hear the roar of the cars when you're going through there. So if you're doing a car trip and expecting the Mont Blanc to be really noisy, it's not compared to the other tunnels. So we went through there, we skirted down Italy, and we ended up in near Monaco in this place called Cap Martin, and that was beautiful. I'd highly recommend you stay there if you're doing one of these trips, and it's a brilliant location. It's right near Monaco. In fact, if you walk around Cap Martin, you can actually see Monaco. It's like about a 15-minute walk, and you can kind of see it as you look down onto the coast. Beautiful place, much cheaper than Monaco, way cheaper, way less hectic, but just got a real kind of nice chill vibe to it. We had a nice hotel. We stayed there for 2 nights, so I wanted a bit of a nicer hotel just to kind of relax in. So I really enjoyed it there. So from Cap Martin, you drive like 15, we got an Uber, 15 minutes into Monaco. Absolutely roasting. I recommend don't go there in August. I mean, it's good, you got to go there if you go there, obviously, but it was so hot there, and there's so many people in Monaco. It's just a bit mental. We stayed in Monaco for a few hours. We went on that little boat ride. That was good. We got to see what we wanted to see. Saw lots of nice cars, and yeah, Monaco was good. From there, we went to the Millau Viaduct. That was kind of our second slight disappointment because we didn't show much of it on the video, because we'd done so much driving that day. Because I forgot something. Once we left Monaco, we did this 2.5 hour diversion into this place called Verdon Gorge, and the drive from Monaco, if you don't take the motorways, it's beautiful. It's the best drive we've done on the trip. Loads of windy roads through real nice little towns, up mountains, just a beautiful drive. And when you get to the top of where that Verdon Gorge is, that is spectacular. It was 2.5-3 hours diversion out of our way, but it was well worth it, and I'd 100% recommend you add that into your trip. So Verdon Gorge. But obviously from there we then drove to Millau, and to be honest, it felt like a long day of driving. And as we were kind of coming into Millau, it started to rain, and as we went over the bridge, it was just really raining quite hard, and it's just like mist on one side and just rain on the other. And to be honest, we were knackered, and we just had enough of driving. It was just too much driving. And then the next day we got up and we drove to Bordeaux. Now that was a fantastic city, such a great vibe to it, that city. Really enjoyed it there. We had a great kind of like meal in the square and a night out. This is when Will turned into a complete maniac because he just loves karaoke, and he ended up doing 2 songs on the karaoke. He was the best there by a mile, even though all these other people had tried. He was so good, they bought us over 3 shots, and then at the end of the night they asked him to do the closing song, to which we haven't got that on video. So, but he kind of, the first one he did a song from the Smiths, then he did Oasis, Rock and Roll Star, and then bizarrely the last song he did was like Twist and Shout. But apparently he had the whole bar up rocking. We'd already left by then because we wanted to be able to get up in the morning. But yeah, that was brilliant in Bordeaux. And then from Bordeaux we went to a town called Angers, and that was pretty nice as well, nice and built up. By this point though, we're getting pretty tired of the journey, tired of all the driving, and we decided last night, we looked at the weather and we thought we're going to call it a day early. and instead of going to the next town, which was Rouen, which is just another city, which is like all the other cities, we decided to come back, and now here we are back in the UK, driving back home. Another hour and a half to go, and we'll be back home, and it would just be nice to get in my own bed. As for the cars, they've been fantastic. I mean, touch wood, no issues at all with either of the cars. Even Steve's car, which you kind of think is a 2009, it's done 50 odd thousand miles, you think maybe that would get a little problem. Nothing wrong with it, it's done really well. Obviously he had his badge stolen, which is annoying. I've scuffed the wheel, which is annoying but not the end of the world, but no breakdowns, and the cars have been brilliant. So if you're thinking of doing one of these trips, go and give it a go. It's a good experience, good laugh. We've visited multiple countries all in a week. I will add up the total miles and the total cost, put that in another video, but we've done somewhere in the region of 2,200 miles or something like that would be my guess. And it's been a great week. So if you've made it this far, well done. If you're thinking of doing your own trip, put some questions in the comments, and yeah, we'll see you soon.